So a GSX-S1000GX isn't exactly a catchy name. For some reason Suzuki are making the names quite complicated at the moment, so we'll just call it a GX. So what's it all about? Well, it's what they're calling a sports crossover. So with the popularity of adventure bikes recently, people are liking the more sit up and beg, the longer suspension travel on their bikes, but they're not necessarily going to be going off-road, so they don't need a 21-inch front wheel, they don't need the masses of suspension travel, so Suzuki reckon this is a happy medium. At the heart of it is the K5 GSX-R1000 engine that we've grown to love, putting out just over 150 horsepower. This engine is legendary, and the amount of tuning and the amount of work that Suzuki have done to it has really made it and transformed it into a great road engine. There's heaps of mid-range, but also you've still got that GSX-R top end, so it really is a heap of fun. That's why they brought us down here to Mansfield, so we could stretch its legs, see what it goes like at the top end without the worry of police or trees or other traffic, but also spent a couple of hours on the road on it yesterday just to see what it was like in both environments. So being a crossover, it's a reasonably tall bike, but you'll also notice the pegs are quite high and there's actually quite a lot of ground clearance. It really did corner quite well here at Mansfield. It doesn't make it uncomfortable, but it is on the sporty side of a tourer. It comes with panniers, so it's fully kitted, all in the price for you, and it's got all the bells and whistles that people expect on a premium sports tourer nowadays. At first, the Suzuki it's got electronic suspension with 3 different settings, or an automatic setting, so you can have soft, medium or hard. It also adjusts the preload automatically, so you have it set to auto, you put someone on the back, the bike self-levels and adjusts the preload for you. You've got switchable power settings, so again, there's 3 settings for that. You can have a full-on A power, a B, which is a little bit more subtle on the throttle response, and a C for when it's wet. There's traction control, which again has various settings for it, and a few more gizmos that we've seen on this, that we've got on this Suzuki that we haven't seen on Suzuki's before. So yes, there's wheelie control, but there's also their sort of version of the skyhook suspension. So if you're going over rough ground, rough terrain, the bike automatically tries and levels things and smooths things out for you. There's also a torque control, so if you're cranked over in a corner and it was noticeable here at Mansfield and you dial in the throttle, the bike knows that you're at a lean angle and it will only give you certain amount of power, and as you start standing the bike up, then full power comes in. It's a great safety aid. I didn't notice it too much on the road, but on the track here you certainly can feel it working. New design, so we've got a new fairing which isn't electronically adjustable, but there are 3 different settings. You just got to use an Allen key to take the screws off and set it off, set it up and down. On the road yesterday, it was really great. There was no buffeting. It was a very windy day as well, so it does make a nice tourer. You've got hand guards there to take the winds off your hand, and it's been an aerodynamically designed fairing to make this quite an easy bike to really click off the case. New LED lights at the front. It's got a new TFT dash, and you can use the Suzuki app to then connect to your phone, which offers you the ability to check messages, do your music, that sort of stuff. But also there's full colour mapping on the dash as well, which is a really nice touch. Brembo monoblock brakes that we've seen on other Suzukis and lots of other bikes in the class. The feel isn't quite what we've come to expect. It's a little bit wooden, but there is plenty of power there, and coming down the start finish straight here, I was able to brake later and later and later and really trust in the power, but just not the feel that we've sort of become used to. It's got an up-down quick shifter with an auto blipper that is really fantastic. It is so light and so precise and so easy to use. I'm not quite sure why all motorcycle manufacturers can't make them this good, but it is one of the best quick shifters and auto blippers that I've used. It really is a pleasure. Riding position is a bit sit-in, so you're protected from the elements. handlebars are sort of pulled back towards you, so it is nice and comfortable. There's cruise control, so you can click off the Ks, and with the cruise control, nice touch, you can actually use the quick shifter at the same time, and it runs from, I think, 30 kilometers an hour up to 180 kilometers an hour. You can have the cruise control set, and there's just a rocker switch up and down to adjust your speed. It's got that typical GSX-R1000 sound, especially here when you're winding it through the gears and really using all the revs. It sounds absolutely fantastic. On the road, there's no need to use all those revs. Instead, you're just using that mid-range. And as we've got 17-inch wheels on this, rather than the bigger wheels you'll see on an adventure bike, it actually handles really well. So it's nice, it flows through the corners and really does encourage you to push on. The electronic suspension again is nice on the road. You can adjust it or you can set it to auto, but you can really fine tune it to, I guess, the conditions that you're riding on and what you've got going on the bike. So whether you've got luggage or a pillion or anything like that. They're in the shops now. It's $27,995, I think, if I've got that correct, and as I say, it comes with panniers. As an all-rounder, if you're somebody who's got an adventure bike, but you're only really using it for touring, you're not really heading off-road, this really would be the sensible choice. It gives you the relaxed riding position, it gives you the comfort for long distance, but it's got that fantastic power plant, and it can be really, really sporty as well. So it gives you the best of both worlds, sport and touring. We've had a great day here at Mansfield. Suzuki have had all their dealers here, so we've had a couple of press, and the dealers here all putting it through its paces, and it hasn't missed a beat, and it's literally been revved with an inch of its life the entire day. Unfortunately, I'm not taking it home with me, but hopefully I'll get it back soon, and we can do a more long-term test with the new Suzuki GSX-S1000GX.